You know what? So many legal issues to talk about. A Real Housewife pleads her case. New details in the Oscar Pistorius case. And Justin Bieber might face a jury. I'll tell you what, it's all coming up in our legal roundup.
Yes, and here to make sense of this all and to go over the cases that everybody is talking about is our friend and attorney, Midwin Charles. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so now let's start with the story that we just actually covered. We just heard about a young girl suing her parents for tuition and her daily expenses. What do you think of this story?
Oh, I think it's bananas. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is what happens when young people think that they are entitled to anything and everything. Once you're past 18, your parents do not have a financial obligation to do anything for you.
Even if they had set the precedent before of paying for your school and taking care of everything, really, at the age of 18.
Once you turn 18, you know, this young girl needs to simply just get over herself. Seriously.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is this the first kind of case like this?
Well, there have been cases like this before in the past. I just don't know that they've ever been successful.
This is not emancipation, though. This is not when a child says they need to get away for their own safety or their own financial security, right?
No, this is different. This is, I want to get away, but I want you to still support me while I'm away.
No. That's not the way it works.
Right, exactly. It's like, hello, welcome to the real world.
Exactly.
If you want to leave your parents' home and you're over 18, right, because then they no longer have a legal obligation to care for you, you have to join the real world. Hello, get a job, pay your bills, and handle your affairs.
Just like the rest of us.
Exactly.
Okay, so now new details in the Oscar Pistorius trial yesterday. Some big news about the neighbor hearing screams.
And her testimony was actually really credible. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to some of the audio from that trial. She was very clear, even during cross-examination, that she heard Reva Steenkamp yelling, blood-curdling scream is the words that she used during the time she heard the shots. So she was very, very credible. I believed her story. And in the cross-examination, they really tried to kind of weaken her and get her to kind of move away from that. But she held firm. She stood her ground.
Right, because it's very different from what Oscar's account of the night was.
Yeah, it was an intruder, right?
Well, his account of the night doesn't even pass the laugh test.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, pumping 4 bullets into a door that's closed. You wake up, you don't, necessarily look for your girlfriend. The first thing you do is reach for your gun and shoot into a closed bathroom door 4 times.
Suspicious, yeah.
4 times?
What in the world is going on with the courts down there where they've said, okay, it's going to be wall-to-wall TV coverage, and now somebody had their face leaked out, and now they have to stop? What kind of other issues is the coverage going to play?
Well, the coverage of that trial is not unlike how we do here, right? I mean, when you think about it, we've had the trial of George Zimmerman and other such trials just with round-the-clock TV cameras. But I think what's unfortunate is witnesses have the right to have their images protected and not have the entire public know who they are for obvious reasons. Oscar Pistorius is a very popular athlete in South Africa. He is well regarded, and there are some people who would perhaps want to target a witness who says anything bad about him or who testifies against him. And someone leaked her image, even though she decided that she didn't want to have her image or her presence known. So they had to stop the trial and try to deal with the ramifications of that.
Big problem.
Sad.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's move on to Joe and Teresa Giudice. They are expected to plead guilty to several fraud charges today. So you think they're heading to jail?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Oh, yes.
What is your prediction?
Oh, yes.
Okay, let's get a prediction on time here.
Oh, yes. Well, on the federal charges, she and he are facing federal charges. He's only facing state charges. She may do 2 years, maybe a little less. Oh, yes. There's no way they're not doing jail time. I'll be very, very surprised. The federal government, when it comes to prosecution of these kinds of charges, they do not play. And these are serious charges.
Sure are.
Wire fraud, bank fraud, mail fraud, bankruptcy fraud. I mean, the theme here is fraud.
Right. Overall.
Overall. It's every kind of fraud you could ever imagine.
Do you see him being deported?
It's hard to say, but if you are convicted of a felony, usually you are deported. It's the first thing that happens, unless it's part of the plea deal, unless it's something that they work out with immigration that he is not deported. But the likelihood that he'll be deported is very high.
Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Reality bites.
No kidding. It sure does.
They should make a show out of this deal.
Reality bites. You can't make this one up.
Yeah.
41 charges.
Yeah.
Borderline
Justin
real.
Bieber, what's going on with him?
Justin is a hot mess. That's what's going on with him. I mean, he is, rather than being a professional singer, he is on the pathway, unfortunately, to being a professional criminal. I mean,
Wow.
he is facing charges in Canada, Miami. It's absurd, really. And it's sad because he's talented. He's talented. I think most people want to see him make music and perform and come out with the next cute dance moves for his video. So it's sad to see that he is spending so much time and energy in sort of defending himself in these allegations.
Instead of making music and doing the things that
And
people expect
it's
from him.
hard to dance with ankle cuffs.
It is.
It's
Trust
very
me, I've
hard
tried.
to do. Whoa. Midwin Charles, always. Thanks for your insight.
You're
we appreciate
welcome.
it so much.
Absolutely.